the dumbest ways rappers damage their careers. And I promise you, these get worse as we go. So let's start with Bobby Ray. B.O.B. If you were around in 2010, you know exactly who he was. Nothing on You with Bruno Mars hit #1. Airplanes hit #1. His debut album, The Adventures of Bobby Ray, peaked at #1 on the Billboard 200 and was eventually certified double platinum by the RIAA. He was one of the biggest pop rap acts of that period, full stop. He opened for Eminem and Jay-Z on the Home and Home tour in 2010, and then he discovered Twitter. In 2016, Bobby Ray started posting conspiracy theories online. The moon landing was faked. Celebrities were being cloned. And most famously, he became convinced the Earth was flat and started telling everyone about it publicly and at length. Most people thought he was trolling at first. Then astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson responded on social media, pointing out that B.O.B. appeared to be operating about 5 centuries behind in his understanding of established science. B.O.B. did not just brush that off and keep it moving. He released a diss track called Flatline, in which he accused Neil of being paid off by the government, referenced anti-Semitic conspiracy theories, sampled Neil's voice, and essentially challenged one of the most respected scientists in the world to a public dispute. Neil's nephew wrote and recorded a response in 24 hours. I need you to sit with that for a second. B.O.B. released a diss track at a scientist, and the scientist's nephew responded. That is the situation. The Anti-Defamation League, or ADL, publicly criticized the anti-Semitic content in the song. The controversy generated enormous backlash, and his commercial momentum dropped sharply after that. He launched a Kickstarter claiming he wanted to fund satellites to prove the Earth was flat. It did not succeed. His 4th album, Ether, in 2017, barely registered on the charts. He said himself, it was like throwing his career in a blender. And honestly, that is the most accurate thing he said publicly during that whole period. Next, here's someone who had every ingredient needed for a long career. Azealia Banks. She had real talent, a genuinely distinct voice. 212 was a real hit, and she had an ear for production that most rappers would have killed for. She had a lane, and she had the ability to fill it properly. The problem was, she could not stop fighting everyone. And I mean, everyone. Somehow she created issues with the likes of Lady Gaga, Iggy Azalea, Zayn Malik, even Elon Musk. She caused a massive public backlash after making deeply offensive comments directed at Irish fans who had criticized her. She made homophobic remarks on Twitter that triggered major public backlash and platform action. Industry support weakened significantly. The doors that had been opening started closing. And here's the thing that makes it genuinely frustrating to watch. She was not wrong about everything. Some of her criticisms of the music industry were sharp and legitimate. She had real things to say, but she delivered them wrapped in so much chaos that nobody could separate the substance from the noise. She is still releasing music independently, but it does not perform anywhere near what it could have, given her actual artistic ability. She essentially built a ceiling out of her own behavior and chose to live under it. This one trips me out every time I think about it. Mac Miller passed away in September 2018. He was 26 years old. The entire rap community was mourning. Fans all over the world were devastated. GoldLink decided this was the right time to post on Instagram accusing Mac Miller of stealing his concept. The post claimed that Mac's album Divine Feminine had borrowed from GoldLink's own project, pointing to alleged similarities in themes and featured artists. He framed it as something he had been holding on to. He felt it needed to be addressed. Mac Miller had been dead for less than a week. Anderson.Pack commented on the post directly and called it disrespectful, narcissistic, jealous, and grossly unnecessary. The post drew immediate and intense backlash from fans and peers across the industry. GoldLink deleted it and disabled comments on his entire account. GoldLink had something real going for him before this. a genuine sound, critical respect, a future that looked promising. He damaged that reputation in a single post over an artist who was not there to respond anymore. Whatever the grievance was, whatever he felt, the timing was so catastrophically wrong that nothing else about the situation even mattered. MGK spent years building a reputation as someone willing to go at anyone. Fearless, confrontational, always had something to say. So when an old tweet of his surfaced where he had made comments about Haley Jade, Eminem's daughter, and Eminem responded by taking shots at him on his Kamikaze album in 2018, MGK must have thought this was his moment. He responded with Rap Devil. It was a solid diss track, honestly. It got attention. He seemed genuinely confident about how things were going. Then Eminem dropped Killshot. The track generated massive immediate attention and became one of the most discussed rap moments of 2018. MGK went from the guy who talked back to Eminem to the guy who got taken apart by Eminem in front of the entire internet in one afternoon. What happened after was interesting though. MGK did not disappear. He pivoted heavily into pop punk and rock, built a completely different fan base in a completely different genre, and had some real commercial success doing it, so you could argue he survived. But he also shifted away from rap almost entirely after that beef. The genre he had spent years building a career in moved on while he went somewhere else. And you have to wonder how differently things might have played out if he had just let it go. Some beefs in rap, you simply cannot win before they start. Most people who have forgotten that have learned it the hard way. DaBaby was genuinely one of the hottest rappers in the world. Going into 2021, Rockstar with Roddy Ricch spent 11 weeks at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. He had 6 Grammy nominations. He was headlining major festivals. By any measure, he had made it. On July 25th, 2021, DaBaby performed at Rolling Loud in Miami. During his set, he told the crowd to put their cell phone lights in the air if they did not show up with HIV, AIDS, or any deadly sexually transmitted diseases that would make you die in 2 to 3 weeks. He also made additional homophobic remarks during the same performance. The fallout was immediate and enormous. Lollapalooza dropped him from its lineup hours before his scheduled performance. Governor's Ball followed. Day in Vegas also removed him from their lineup. He lost a sponsorship deal with Boohoo Man. Dua Lipa, who had a massive hit with him on Levitating, publicly criticized his comments. Elton John and Madonna both weighed in. GLAAD issued a formal statement calling out the harmful misinformation about HIV. DaBaby apologized twice. He has continued releasing music, so his career did not end completely. But here's the thing. DaBaby himself said in a 2023 interview that he lost around $200 million due to the controversy. $200 million for 3 minutes of comments at a festival. And as recently as February 2026, DaBaby stated publicly that he has 0 regrets about what he said, which is his choice. But $200 million is a lot of money to have 0 regrets about. Now we have 6ix9ine. He is a different kind of story, because unlike most of the people on this list, it is hard to say his career was destroyed by a single moment of poor judgment. His career was built on a foundation that was going to collapse eventually. The only question was when. Daniel Hernandez, known as Tekashi 6ix9ine, built one of the most attention-grabbing rap careers in recent memory entirely on the basis of chaos, confrontation, and gang affiliation. Gummo went viral. Fifi with Nicki Minaj peaked at #3 on the Billboard Hot 100. He was genuinely one of the most streamed artists of 2018. And here's the thing he actually said in court under oath, because this matters. When asked what he got from his relationship with the 9 Trey Gangsta Bloods, he said, "My career. I got the street credibility, the videos, the music, the protection, all of the above." He openly told a federal courtroom that his gang affiliation was a career strategy. He was arrested on November 18, 2018, on federal racketeering charges. He decided to cooperate with the government the very next day. Not after weeks of consideration, not after consulting lawyers extensively, the next day. During his 3-day testimony, he testified against his former 9 Trey Gangsta Bloods associates and identified fellow rappers, including Cardi B and Jim Jones, as gang members. The rap community's response was swift and brutal. The word snitch became permanently attached to his name in a way that no amount of streaming numbers could remove. People actually called him Snitch 9. He was released from prison in early 2020 due to COVID-19 concerns. Immediately went back to social media, immediately tried to restart his career, and immediately discovered that the credibility his entire brand had been built on was completely gone. He had streams, he kept releasing music, but the mystique, the persona, the energy that had made people actually care about him was built on something he dismantled in a federal courtroom. You cannot build a rap career on the streets and then testify against the streets and expect the streets to keep supporting you. The whole thing collapsed the moment he chose the deal. In July 2020, following a party at Kylie Jenner's home in Los Angeles, an altercation between Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion escalated. Lanez shot allegedly at Megan, injuring her foot. A jury convicted him in December 2022 on 3 felony charges: assault with a semi-automatic firearm, having a loaded unregistered firearm in a vehicle, and discharging a firearm with gross negligence. On August 8, 2023, he was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Now here's what makes this story particularly hard to understand. Rather than staying quiet, Lanez went on a years-long public campaign to dispute Megan's account. Just 2 months after the shooting, he released his album Daystar, in which he denied the accusations across multiple songs. The industry's reaction was almost universally negative. Rick Ross publicly said it was a poor choice. Many critics refused to review it at all. He continued releasing music and making public statements throughout the entire legal process. At sentencing, Judge David Hereford cited his conduct after the shooting as an aggravating factor in the sentence. Tory Lanez's 4th album, Chixtape 5, had peaked at number 2 on the Billboard 200. He had real hits. He had a fan base that genuinely supported him. He had a career that was working. He is currently serving 10 years in a California prison. That is where this story ends. And it is genuinely one of the most unnecessary career implosions in the history of rap, because the music was actually connecting. The audience was there. The momentum was real, and he threw all of it away. Here's what I keep coming back to when I look at all of these guys. B.O.B. had double platinum albums. Azalea Banks had rare, genuine talent. GoldLink had critical respect and a real sound. MGK had built a loyal audience over years of work. DaBaby had Grammy nominations and an 11-week number 1. 6ix9ine had one of the most viewed rap careers of 2018. Tory Lanez was incredibly talented, had a top 2 album and a growing fan base. None of them had a talent problem. Every single person on this list could actually do the thing. The music was working. The issue was what came after the music. The moment where the career was in their hands and they found a way to hand it back. And the really uncomfortable thing, most of them had people around them who could see what was coming. And the moment still happened anyway. That is what makes these stories so frustrating to look at. It was not bad luck. It was not the industry working against them. It was a choice. Every single time, it was a choice. With respect to Tory Lanez, as he maintains his innocence to this day. If this hit different than you expected, the next video is already on screen. Go click it, and I'll catch you over there. Take it easy.